What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another collaboration here on today's channel. And I have a special brother, man, one of my good brothers from the Pan African community has come over to build with us. I'll let him explain his name and what his channel is about.
What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. I'm a Pan-African channel, meaning I promote economic and social cooperation between all Black people, no matter your ethnicity or where you're from, so we can work together collectively so we can improve our position on this planet, and stop those who want to take things from us from taking it. That's what I'm about, talking about real tangible solutions on my channel.
Okay, and guys, give him a round of applause. And now some of you guys may have seen I've responded to one of his videos here on this channel. And you guys know I'm in like two communities here on YouTube. I'm in maybe three. So you consider the Black Manosphere community, which I'm more known for, than the overall Black YouTube community. But my favorite is I'm in the Pan-African community. You know, guys like me, African Diaspora Network, Voting Mind, people like that. And what I've noticed is in that community, dating is not necessarily talked about a lot. You get a lot of talk about, investing in Africa, working with the diaspora, kind of bridging the gap for repat assistance and things like that. But I noticed that brothers like yourself, you see what's going on in the dating market with Black men, and a lot of brothers in the Pan-African community were kind of, I'm not going to say afraid to say what Kevin Samuels was saying, God rest his soul, but a lot of brothers did see the inequalities that was going on in the dating market when brother Kevin Samuel was alive. And how did you feel being a part, even though you didn't really talk about it a whole lot on your channel? How did you feel about his assessment of what's going on in the Black American dating world as a Pan-African?
To me, as a Pan-African, Kevin Samuels was a breath of fresh air. Why? Because for so long, the industry, the media industry, the sales industry has been pandering to women to the point to where they've gotten to the point of consumerism. First of all, America is a consumerism country, but the women is hyperinflated for them, right? Everything's built to sell something to the woman. So the women are easily manipulated by the market, right? So we have them thinking that they're princesses and that they should be on a pedestal and they don't have to do anything. But in the real world, women have a role, right? And a man has a role, and a man's role has yet to change from when we was chasing wildebeest with spears to now going to work, working 8-hour weeks sometimes to bring home the bacon. It's the same role. It's just that the things are different. But either way, we stay at the house and we sacrifice, and it's a lonely, painful journey for a man. When it comes to being responsible and raising a family, and all we want is a woman that's going to do their part to make it worth us doing that. And a lot of the modern day women are forgetting that you're not just Cinderella. Cinderella got to do something. All right, it's not just looking pretty. Because if it's just about looking pretty, there's a prettier one on the internet every day. All right, so if you want to compete in that arena, you're gonna lose. No matter, even if you win today, you're gonna lose tomorrow. Right? It's about when we say bring it to the table, what can you do? Can you bring me peace? When I come home, can I relax? After going out here and getting screamed, yelled at, and have fighting scars, can I come home to a sanctuary so I can decompress and go out here and do it again? Can you inspire me to go out here and work harder when things are hard? Can you do those things? We don't care about your money or your degree because they don't do nothing for us. Because your money is your money and our money is your money. And it's always been like that. We joke about that in media and comedy. We know that the woman's money and resources belongs only to her, and that our resources belong to the family. Therefore, there's nothing attractive about a woman who wants to work just as hard as me. You may be beautiful, you may be fine and accomplished, and that's all great. But here's the truth is, if I'm working 80-hour weeks and I'm bringing home $200,000-$300,000 a year, and I'm earning every one of those dollars, when I come home, I would like to have a woman there to meet me. I don't want to come home and then my woman, she's still at the office doing her thing. That's just not what I'm into, right? Because what am I working for? We're both working for what? You know what I'm saying? So I want to, if I'm gonna build a castle, I want my queen to run it. And she can still do her thing. I'll support her, do her business, whatever, but understand that the ultimate role of that woman is to be the queen of that castle, as me to being the king has purchased or did for her. I need that, and that's that yin and yang that we need as a foundation for Black people. You see Pan-Africanism, we need the family structure in order for this to work, because the foundation, your first foundation, is your family. We can't build any other institution within Pan-Africanism or unite any group if our individual groups are not united within the family structure, which is the smallest group. So it's very important that we as Pan-Africans deal with the fact that we need to bring culture and class back to our women and our men. Men need to act like real men, women that need to act like women. And we need to have some class and dignity about ourselves. And we can, there's times and places to have fun, to be ratchet, to be to do, shake, take the tail fella or something. But it's not every day, all day,
Right.
That's all it is,
Okay. Now I've noticed, because a lot of brothers, because in the manosphere, guys like associated with the black manosphere community, like me, Kevin at the time. Obviously, he surpassed us. Yeah. But his roots were here. Right. So this community obviously is mostly men, and now we have someone that support us now. Right. The Pan-African community, what I noticed, that is very female oriented. So it's, in the Pan-African community, talking about the American side, you have many different, I can say denominations that you're like 5% nation, which is Nation of God's Earth. There's Nation of Islam. You got the Hebrew Israelite. They're a little bit more at red pill. You got your Hoteps, they be kind of simping a little bit. Yeah. You got your, who's the other brothers? The
Nubians.
The Nubians, right? Yeah, guys like that, and the Moorish brothers, North American Moorish brothers. So, and what you see is Sonnetter, he's a little bit, Egyptologist stuff, things like that. So you notice there's a lot of catering towards women, calling black women queens a lot and things like that. Respect women is a big thing. Right. But what I've noticed is that a lot of brothers, not even just in the Pan-African community, you're seeing a lot of brothers that's really into it with black women, even if they may have had an African-American wife before. What I'm noticing now, and Dr. Chesson Johnson pointed this out, a lot of black men are just saying, if I want to get with a black woman, I'm going to Africa. Yeah, I'm going to Ghana. Yeah. I'm going to Nigeria. I'm going to Uganda. And maybe in the background we could play some of these, like Miss Curvy videos that we used to do in Ghana. We were just doing it, me and Jolene, having fun. Yeah. And then a lot of brothers was like, oh shit, this is what they're working with out there. Like, okay, they're the good looking ladies. I thought, it was the media was saying it was all Asian and fashion. Like, okay, well, shit. Right. And guys started going out there and marrying some of these ladies. I met some of these dudes in person. Like, yo, man, because of your channel, I went out there. Here's my wife. I married my wife out here because of your channel. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I'm really addressing that. Do you think that this is going to be something that's going to continue to happen as the world becomes smaller because of the connections and things? Are we going to start to see a lot more African American men moving to Africa, dating African women, and if so, why?
Absolutely. It's only gonna get worse, and that's one thing the late Kevin Samuels was really warning these women about, is that there's so much competition before the African American women who they compete with over here. With the white woman. White women don't got the curves, they ain't got the lips, they ain't got this and that. You got the Latino women, some of them got a little black in them, they got some of the curves, but they hair, they only do like 1 or 2 hairstyles or whatever. So that get old. But see, the black woman never had to compete with another black woman. The Dominicans, they had the Dominicans and the Colombians, but they were way down there. They were there, and that was a threat. And that's what a lot of African Americans were going to Brazil, and they were going to Colombia. But now the floodgates of Africa opened up, because you figured if there's only, let's say there's only 44 million African Americans. There's more women than men. There's probably 24, 25 million black women, right? And half of them probably married, or about 20% of them married. So it's probably like 19 million African American women, right? And then we got less available African American men, right? So our pool, our sample size here is pretty small anyway. We talking about Africa, which the thing is, people have absolutely no idea how actually big Africa is, because the maps that you use right now are still distorted. Like if you actually saw a real map, you would be surprised how massive Africa is, how small Europe is, and I'm telling you, it will blow your mind. So we got a whole set. We had the Costco sample size of black women here, right? And we love all the curves and lips and all that stuff. But you see, you got the whole Costco's over there. Like, this ain't samples. You got all aisles and aisles of different types of black women with all the shapes and sizes, different types of chocolate. You got dark chocolate, light chocolate, every spectrum of chocolate and caramel, nuggets. They got everything, every shape, tall, short, thin, slim, athletic. And guess what? They all still maintain and hold the dignity of their African culture. They still are trained traditionally to be traditional women, and they still have that same strength that African American women pride themselves so much for having. That African American Black woman strength is the strength they got from African women, because they all have it and display it in Africa the same way as we see African Americans. They just have culture and dignity and a foundation wrapped around it. So a woman knows how to be feminine over there in Africa while not feeling like they're being belittled or downgraded or enslaved or second-class citizens. It's a role, meaning they have a role. You don't step on a woman's role. It's disrespectful to step on a woman's role.
Give me an example of that. Talk about the dishwashing example.
All right, if you get a wife if you're a continental African, you get a wife over there, and you think that you're gonna go in there and you're gonna touch that laundry, do any type of laundry, you just disrespected your woman, your wife, your girlfriend, her mama, all your sisters. We just read all women in the village because you decided you wanted to touch the dishes or do some laundry. You don't touch that. You decide you want to sweep the floor, you're being disrespectful. All right, that's not your job. Your job is to go out there, make the money, bring it home, and take care of this, take care of my community or my compound. That's your job. You go and do that. Leave our women stuff to us, and I will leave the men stuff to you. And women also run industry and business over there, so it's not like they're sitting at home being housewives. They run business, commerce, trade. They have stores. They do this. They hustle hard over there, and when they come home, they take care of their castle that their husband purchased for them. And that's how it works. So the thing is that the man is the head. The women over there know that the man is the head, point blank. They respect and honor and fear him for that. But the woman is the neck, right? So without the neck, the head can't stand. The neck controls the rest of the body, and that's the family, right? So a woman can be a queen. She knows queen action. She knows how to do things that queens do. And queen's job is to support and back up the king. And the king has to be a king. You can't just be a fool or court jester and think somebody's going to treat you like a king. No, you got to display that you have the ability to take care of, manage people, to show, nurture, and create an environment so that your queen can live happily and comfortably and be able to do the things she want to do and take care of your offspring. That's the point, right? So men are men over there and women are women over there. And there's now you do have your obviously your outliers. You got certain Asian and Christian religions that are, and certain other African traditional religions that kind of, treat, the women not so good. We do have some infestation of some bad practices within the culture, but overall, women are respected, if you understand what I mean.
Okay, so let's just talk about what's going on, because, a lot of Black women in America, when they see Black men going to Brazil and they're going to Dominican Republic, what they say is, aha, you're only dealing with her because she is poor and you are a colorist, right? You like those light-skinned women. So you're dealing with her because she's poor and she only want to deal with you for your money. Now, I want to kind of figure that if you got all these Black men going to these places, right. Let's leave Ethiopia and some of the Horn, Eritrea, because they would use that, like, you only like these girls to say they're light skinned. Okay, right. Let's talk about Rwandese and drag down Congolese, South Africa, women like that. Okay, so these Black men start dealing with women from these areas. Do you think that the goalpost can be shifted again if you see that, and then that sisters in America will feel some type of way about brothers dealing with women from Africa versus dealing with women in America?
Well, I would say, honestly, it don't even matter what they think anymore. They need to understand that they are no longer, they have competition. They have other Black women, same DNA, same everything, that they got to compete with now. And these Black women have a different worldview. And the thing is, if a man is telling you what they want, right, and you don't want to give it to them, but there's a million other women that will give it to them, they're going to choose those women that will give it to them. It has nothing to do with poor. And if that's the case, by all indications, no African-American woman would ever get with a man that even makes the same amount of money they make, because they're looked at as poor, right? So women in America are looking for men that have resources. Women, females in nature, look for males that have resources. That's only natural. Men, we look for women that have body parts that we like, because sexual attraction is what gets us and motivates us to do the things that we do, right? The job is to recreate, right? Recreate, eat. It's all about eating and sex. That's what we're about at the end of the day. us as human beings, we wrap tradition and cultures and morals around it. At the end of the day, men looking for something that they like, and the women looking for somebody that's going to take care of them. Because when a woman has a baby, she has more invested, because she becomes vulnerable for a year. She's vulnerable for a couple more years because she has this infant that has to be taken care of hand and foot, while the man goes out and goes and does his thing. The men's job is to procreate as much as possible, meaning we're supposed to, ensure the survival of our genetic, DNA by making as many babies as humanly possible, right? Monogamy is a new thing. It's a relatively new thing, and it has not been working out anywhere to be honest. You cannot like it, but the facts remains 99.99% of human history, men have needed to have multiple wives, multiple women to continue on the species, and women have always been fine and okay with that, and that was part of the structure of the family. The women would work together, and they would work together as a unit, as a family, take care of the kids together, and protect each other while the man was gone. Because 9 times out of 10, the man was gone most of the time anyway, while the women was at home or at the facility taking care of house. So the thing is, there's so much competition. Women, this is the thing, African American women, you either get with it or you're gonna be by yourself. It's that simple. You can love it, you can hate it, you can get mad, you can feel any way about it, but you're competing with billions and billions of African women straight from the source that will take your man. All right, they is looking for these African American
and ruthless too with it.
African American women with some African American women don't understand is that outside of America, the African American man is the rise. Okay, especially if we got a little bit of money. It ain't always about money. Sometimes it's about status. We African American men, despite what the black exploitation, we have a status. African men in general have a status. Okay, wherever they go, there's a status. There's a higher status, especially among women, because women of all races and cultures are very much attracted to us. But African American men, we stand above all of that because of, obviously we've been able to project our culture out a little bit more than everybody else for the longest. So we're the most prominent. So we have an extra status. If you're a decent African American man and you know how to treat a woman with respect and dignity, and you are basically that guy that's always stuck in the friend zone with that one chick that you tried to get with that never saw the value in you, you go over here to Europe, you'll find the baddest, you'll find a number 10, you'll find 2 or 3 number 10s that'll fight in the street for you. And they will take care of you. They will cook. They will advertise. We cook, clean. I do laundry. I take care of kids. I can do this, and I won't bother you. I won't nag you. Just all you have to do is take care of me wholeheartedly. Do your part, and I do my part. And I'm telling you, the more African American men start pointing towards Africa, the more these African American women are going to have to either step their game up or they're going to be missing out. And that's just the truth. And African American women also have an opportunity because there's a whole bunch of men out there who are not thugs, they're not gangsters, they have a whole nother worldview. They're doing very well, very manly. A bunch of African men who will love to scoop up one of these African American women. But you got to understand, you got to know how to act right. You're not taking that Western African American, I can say what I want, I ain't got no cut ties. They're not trying to hear all that. No, they're not trying to hear that. So if that's what you're about, then you're gonna fail when you go over there because they're not with that. The women.
Let me just say this too, and also the guys that have because women are looking for more resources, right? And there are guys in Africa, man, they way more rich than And I mean, you've got in Africa, you're really rich. Yeah. But those guys that I find out, man, those guys are usually taken. It's much more easier for guys to go over and marry somebody.
Yeah, it's true.
Than it is for the women to go over there and get somebody. Because unless they're gonna be paying for the guy on average.
Yeah,
because those.
Because
so much competition for those guys there.
Because a lot of people who's never left America, it's different. With the dynamics is different in America. The man, we kind of like chase the woman, right? The woman can walk around all night at the bar getting free drinks and deny every single man and just everybody wants me. I don't want none of them. See, it's different in Africa. It's different in Asia. When you walking around, you got women fighting for you. You have a choice right on the spot. They're aggressive. They're not playing around. They trying to get married because over there, marriage means something. Marriage still means something in Africa. See, over here, in the Western world, marriage don't mean as much anymore. It's getting loose. Anybody can get married to anything nowadays. But over there in Africa, the institution of marriage means everything to a woman. A woman does. In Nigeria, you could be a lawyer, a doctor, a millionaire. It don't mean nothing if you ain't married. They don't care. Throughout the village, like, well, you ain't got no man. So what? What's all that What's all that money gonna do you? You ain't got no man. And at the end of the day, that's how they see it. So they want their man. They will fight you for a man out there, right? And you go over there, you're an African American too. You got a little bit of money. You got your head on straight. What? You the prize, guaranteed.
And another thing too is what I've noticed is like number one, I noticed that guys who are shorter in America have a lot more. Because so many people in America are so tall, man, so big.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know, in America, man, if you 5'6", it's you know, it's kind of hard. But in Africa, man, it's not. And Uganda, it's
man, Nigeria, you can be 5'5", you walking around with a tall 5'11" tall drink of water. A Nigerian woman take it, still looking at, she'll still be looking up at you. You can be way down there. She's still looking up at you.
Like, it's not uncommon to see that. See somebody that's like an average looking dude, and the girl is I'm talking about monster. I'm just story time music. Listen, there was one time, right?
Yeah.
I was in Acacia Mall, and this one chick, man, I swear she was trying to get some ice cream. I was about to buy the whole. Give me the gallons, right?
Yeah.
Her dude walked up. I was like, this is like a little brother or something. It was her dude, man. But what I'm talking about, she was a monster thick. Look, Jesus paid it all on the cross. I was ready to pay it all too. Right there. She was that beautiful. And it's not uncommon that you see these dudes with these monster thick, beautiful, knockout looking women. And they're like 5'4", 5'5", regular clothes. You know what I mean? Because those kind of women are so normal. They don't even know they fine. They don't even know.
They have no idea. Like, all right. So most of the Nigerians that you see in America, right? That's actually a very small sample size of the phenotype in Nigeria. I swear, you go to Nigeria, my complexion, right? My complexion. There are people walking around that look just as yellow, not more yellow than me, that did not bleach. There's bleaching going on, and you can see the clear difference between fake light skin and real light skin. But there are Nigerians, 100%, their ancestors never left this complexion. They got the pie face, they got the sharp face, they got the different texture hair. I swear it'll blow your mind the different types of Africans in that small, Nigeria's not small, but just in that small part of Africa. The choices, the exoticness, you get every type of exotic look you looking at and still have 100% pure African. And that's why the African American woman, they can't get jealous. You can't say she ain't with a black woman. He's definitely with a black woman. One that's just like you, more pure. All right, so you can't say nothing at all. Like that fruit went straight to the root. All right, you can't say nothing. And if you a short black man with glasses and you got a pot belly, take yourself to Africa. You get yourself a couple of them. I'm telling you, no problem. You dress clean, you know how to look good. You ain't even got to have no game. They got plenty of game for you. They be gaming on you. I'm telling you. Get your passport, take a trip to one of these African countries, and I'm telling you, it's gonna take you a day, and you'll know. You'll be just like the Matrix. You'll unplug and replug, and you can't unknow it once you know it. And that's the thing. Once more men start taking those trips, and they start realizing what's over there,
right?
This is gonna be a problem.
And I noticed that it's usually, and it's no offense to the guys that I come across, but these are the dudes that in Black America that you would see them here, and sisters would be like, I'm not interested in him. These are guys that you would when you meet them, it's like, okay, this is the kind of dude that's getting friend zone,
right? Yeah,
in the United States. But eventually he may come back and forth and figure some things out. Now he got a business, or he got some connections, and he's using his U.S. connections and his African connections. Yep. He gets something going, and he can support himself. Now he has, and it's not like as expensive. You get it going, right? If you have even like $2,000 or $3,000 a month and you live in there,
oh man, you got it, man. That's all $2,000-3,000. You can live like they have no idea. They're so used to this American month, the bills, the reoccurring crushing bills that keep us like grounded. We don't go nowhere. Just get a ticket. Go to Nigeria. Go to Ghana. Go to any place in Africa. Just go, and experience being black in a place where you don't have to think about being black. Experience being black around a bunch of black women that's going to treat you with cultural African respect. I mean, it's next level. You ain't never been respected until you went to Africa, and then you felt that level. Matter of fact, when you come back off, you're gonna be upset. You'll be upset when you get on the plane coming back to America. And then every time you see an African American woman pop up, you're like, I'm telling you, you won't be bothered. You're gonna look at these aunties on the internet complaining about men ain't shit and laughing all day long because it's gonna be a joke to you.
Right.
Because
And you waiting to get back to the continent.
right.
And I've noticed, don't get me wrong, not
Mhm.
everybody is perfect. You know, you have some good black women in America, but you're
Yeah.
starting to see that as black men are starting to get a little bit more comfortable with the idea of Africa and the
Yeah.
construct of Africa, and obviously getting over some of the issues they may have had with certain Africans in the United States, which is not really big enough of a deal that they would not, they can't get over it. So
Right.
when you start to look at that, you start to see like, okay, all right, well, maybe I can get, because some brothers, they feel comfortable in Colombia and the DR, and they not might want to go through, the visa process, Nigeria or Ghana, which is a little bit much more difficult.
Yeah.
So, and more expensive. But certain guys are starting to say, okay, it might be a little bit more upside. There's some things that I can do maybe in some business senses here that I probably couldn't do in the DR. Okay, so I'm feeling comfortable because I'm seeing other black men doing it. And so that's what you're starting to see. You're seeing brothers feeling a little bit more comfortable, get more confidence to want to go and know more about Africa. And I think it's what you're seeing now. And shout out to our brother Brandon. He was recently in Uganda. He married a Ugandan woman. And so we hosted him on our Kinganda channel. I want to do a show with him eventually. But yeah, I think what you're going to see is a lot of brothers start to, talk to a lot of ladies, in the diaspora world, because it's still black.
Right.
But brothers going to start exploring that black diaspora, whether it's Africa, Latin America, wherever, America, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Britain, Black Britain, you're going to see some brothers really trying to get into that diaspora and say, okay, well, listen, if I have these opportunities in other places, well, I see what you have to offer. Well, and I want to keep it black. Let's see what Ghana got to offer. Let's see what Liberia got to offer. Let's see what South Africa got to offer.
Yeah, and as these countries become more capable, because right now, like we both know, we know what's happening on the continent. As these countries become more capable, and they advertise, their tourist industry start to rev up, and they start to promote towards the diaspora, we're gonna start to be exposed to even more places with black women. Because like right now, the country you're in, it's not a lot of us there, but there will be, and then soon enough, that's going to be the center of the black world. The center of the black world is going to be Africa. We're over here. We highlighted black culture to the world, but the center of African existence will be on the continent, and the dynamics are shifting right now. And if we don't focus and start pointing our heads towards it, we're gonna wake up and end up over here on this continent left behind. Because there'll be a point in time that the only thing you can do is go on a vacation to Africa because you can't afford it. Because it's going to be just as expensive as America or London or any other place at some point once development, gets to a certain level. Right now is the time to go start a business, establish yourself, buy some land while it's still affordable within reach of the average person. Women, a lot of African women imitate and emulate African American women, right? So they're watching African American women. They're trying to, because they watching the African American man. Right. So if you're an African American man, you get over there, the best thing they can get is an African American man. Like that's the creme de la creme. It's better than marrying they over there, they're becoming more conscious of that white European guy that they married. Like that used to be the way to escape. But now they have options. Now they don't have to marry the big fat bald head old white guy no more. They can marry them a nice young African American their age that's capable, to take care of them now. So now they're becoming aware. They don't have to settle anymore. They can get what they want and get what they want. So they're willing to compete with the African-American women for that. Because as they're watching, they see these women on here talk about what they're not going to do. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. And they're flabbergasted. They're like, y'all, you don't do that for your man? Oh, I'm definitely going to take. If you don't think there's 500 million black women over there thinking about how they can take your African-American man because you don't appreciate him, you mistaken, right? There's African-American men in our personality fits well within the African culture already, because we're still doing the traditional role, so we fit already within the African family dynamic. It's the modern day African woman who has to bend a little bit to get rid of that Western white European feministic thing, because that doesn't fit in any African society, and it always that's why you see all those a lot of Pan-African African women, they go over there solo dolo, they hook up with a dude, everything's good at first, but then within the relationship things happen, and then we get a bunch of on the Gambia because the things start clashing. And the guy just, what do? They be like, I don't got to deal with it. I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's simple. I don't have to deal with it. Bye. You know?
Right. And the thing about it is Africa is very patriarchal, most countries. And so, men are going to get a lot of respect as a man just for being a man.
Yeah,
you don't have to ask for it. You are in America, you can only get respect from a man if you got some money. Whereas in Africa, you're a man, you're going to get respect for just being a man, being an adult man. And I think but guys, I don't want to hold the brother up. He's been here building it up with me, brother, but go ahead and let them know why they should subscribe to the Afro Think Take channel, brother.
Okay, so if you like real people like myself, I'm not rich. I'm a regular degular. I'll be rich one day, but I'm a regular degular person who's smart enough to know how to use his money as a tool to build his own in Africa. I'm showing you that a regular person just like you can do the same thing I do because I'm not special, right? If you like talking about real topics that has to do with connecting each other economically and socially so that we can work together and have something tangible for the future, or maybe projects or opportunities in the future that I will be having and that I will display when given the opportunity, that we can do something, as a group of people, those who really want to take action. Not the ones that's just watching, but those who really want to take action. But if you want to have mature Pan-African conversations with people who are intelligent, not just name calling, come check me out at Afro Think Tank.
So guys, give him a round of applause. This video will be, his channel will be first link to the top. And guys, I do thank you for being here. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at all-time high. I'm out.